So are we really talking about Caitlin Clark leaving the WNBA? Because according to Sophie Cunningham, yeah, that might be on the table, and if that's true, buckle up, because the league might be headed straight off a cliff. This all-star with a few eyebrow-raising comments, Sophie never one bite her tongue basically, so would allow people been thinking, but were too scared to say out loud. Caitlin Clark is being mishandled, undervalued, and quite possibly push out a lead has been cash in our name. If you're here for the real story and not to filter version, subscribe. And if you're sticking around for the next meltdown, you better definitely subscribe since the day she got drafted and before anyone starts screaming Rama, let's be real, you don't accidentally suggest the league's most marketable star could be better off playing in Europe, or switching sport entirely and going full-blown golf princess. That's not a throwaway line, that's a warning shot. So exactly did Sophie say in not so many words. She painted a picture of a lead as letting one with brightest stars with are on the bench, stuck in injury limbo with no clear path back. She caught out the league's lack of protection, the double standard, and how players are treated, and a complete absence of structural support for some of my Caitlin, who, let's be honest, is single-handedly dragging the WNBA into mainstream relevance. And the most damning part, she wasn't wrong. Caitlin Clark has been dealt with more than does bruises and sprains, Shiva, ensuring the weight of an entire league's expectations since the day she went viral in college. She's been positioned as a savior, the ratings magnet, the merge queen, the future. And what did lead do with all that momentum? Threw her into an aggressively physical league with inconsistent officiating, minimal protection, and players who treat every game against her like as the Hunger Games. And then she got injured. Now, instead of rally around her, giving clear updates and ensuring recovery supported and visible, there's radio silence. Fans are left guessing, analysts are speculating, and the WNBA acting like it's business as usual, as if they didn't just lose their biggest draw. Meanwhile, Sophie's out here saying what everyone's whispering group chat: maybe Caitlin should take her talents to Europe, or even pivot to something like Go. With the brand deals are bigger, these less hostile, and no, an actor, we tried body check her into floor every night. Golf Caitlin, just picture it, she's out to composure, the precision, the athletic instincts, and best of all, no elbows, the ribs. Now if you're sitting there thinking, no way Caitlin would leave, she's too invested, let's talk numbers. The WNBA needs Caitlin more than she needs the WNBA. We're talking sold-out arenas, TV deals suddenly becoming primetime, and sponsors tripping over themselves to get even one tweet from her. She's a reason, $500,000. America suddenly knows what the Indiana fever is, and a messed up part, that level of his ability has only made her more of a target on the court. She's getting hammered literally and figuratively. Opponents go after her like it's personal, and when the refs finally blow the whistle, it's her that gets a technical. The league's brightest star is being treated like a rookie punching bag, and nobody stepping and say, hey, maybe let's not let our most valuable, as I get assaulted every game. It's not just about the injuries either. Sophie point out a pattern, and it's one fan started clock to other players get coddled, their minutes or managed, their media pressure is softened. But Caitlin, it's all on her shoulders, the performance, the leadership, the ratings, the narrative. And now she's being blamed for needing time to recover. Just call it what it is, a classic case of build or up, break her down. But here's the plot twist. Sophie's not just speculating to stir drama. She's concerned her words read less like shade and more like a lifeline, like someone watching a fellow awfully drown in pressure and wondering how long will be before she walks away for good. And here's the kicker, fans were probably supporters. She did because a lawyer. LT years to Caitlin, not the WNBA. People tune in to watch her, not some faceless league's ex who can't figure out basic PR. If she said, I'm taking a break, or I'm going overseas, the Internet Explorer was a port. We've seen it happen, remember? When Sabrina Ionesco head injury spiral and took time to reset, fans didn't blink. Because we get it, burnout is real, and Caitlyn burnout isn't just physical, it's cultural, political, and emotional. Let's not forget the microaggressions. She's faced the side eye from other players, the snarky post-game comments, the articles that twist every miss shot into a referendum on her entire career. Caitlyn breathes wrong, and it's a think piece. And yet the league's its back and watches, saying nothing unless as a brand deal design. So now with Sophie's comments hanging in the air, fans start as the uncomfortable question: would have Caitlyn just quit? It would be the first time a generational athlete said no thanks to a broken system. Look at Naomi Osaka or Simone Biles. Athletes are taking their power back, and Caitlyn has that power. She has options: Europe, where the fans are rabid and the checks are bigger; golf, where she could dominate and endure months without risking concussion; even TV commentary. If she wanted, tell me, she would be the face of women's sports coverage overnight. Meanwhile, the WNBA scrambles to prove they can survive without her, and the truth, they probably can't. Not in this moment, not with this much momentum on the line. Caitlyn Clark isn't just a player, she's a storyline, the reason people care. If she walks, what's left? A bunch of Instagram reels with 12 OK views, and another "this is who we are" campaign nobody asked for. Let's hang out a quick award here. Most likely to actually single lead by existing goes to Caitlyn Clark, because never has one player's presence been so essential and so weaponized at the same time. And yet here we are watching the storm build. Sophie light the match, the fans fan the flames, and the lead just blinks. The next few weeks could make or break it. Will the WNBA step up and show they actually value their stars beyond the ticket sales, or will they let Caitlyn fade into injury silence while our agents feel call from Paris, Barcelona, or Augusta National? We're at a turning point, and honestly, it's kind of poetic. The league wanted Caitlyn to be a hero, a draw, a cash cow, but they forgot she's also a human one who's getting tired, the constant target on her back. So if one day soon a note drops on social, is something like, after much thought I decided to step away from the WNBA, don't act surprised. And if that happens, don't say Sophie Cunningham didn't warn us. Now we will know what you think. Should Caitlyn stick it out and force a lead to change, or is it time for her to peace out and live her best Euro basketball or golf influence life? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. We got more meltdowns incoming, because in a wild world of sports, the drama never take time out. You know what's actually wild about all this? The fact that nobody at the WNBA offices seems to grasp the sheer size of a ticking time bomb they're sitting on. Caitlyn Clark is not as a player who happens to be famous. She's a once-in-a-generation phenomenon who dragged league into relevance with one college crossover in a three-point shot in the parking lot. Instead of wrapping her in bubble wrap and million-dollar contracts, they're letting her rot in a system that seems hell-bent on chewing her up and spitting her out. You think the NBA would have treated LeBron like this in rookie year? No chance. There would have been red carpets, private jets, and entire rulebook changes if it meant keep him healthy and happy. But Caitlyn, she's expected to play through the bruises, smile for the slander, and carried a league on her back. Well, so much as a consistent foul call in her favor, and that's what? Yeah, people like Sophie Cunningham side-eyeing the whole operation. Because the league could be doing more, they should be doing more. Instead, they're rolling the dice, hoping Caitlyn loyalty outweighs our common sense that you'll stick around out of love the game while it quietly cash the check your name brings in. But here's the thing, Caitlyn does love the game. That's never been the issue. The issue is whether the game loves her back right now. It's giving emotionally unavailable situationship energy. Every time she stepped on the court, it feels like a test. Will she get injured? Will she get hacked? And not hear whistle? Will someone make a pass? Passive-aggressive comment in the post-game press conference about rookies needing to earn respect. It's not basketball anymore. It's gladiator games with brand deals. And we haven't even touched on how exhausting it must be for her to know that everything she does is instantly polarizing. She smiles too much, she's fake. She's too quiet, she's boring, she celebrates a big shot, she's cocky, she lacks killer instinct, is like she's constantly walking a tightrope while carrying the league on her shoulders, and surprise, the net below is on fire. So yeah, maybe golf isn't the craziest idea. Picture it. Caitlin Clark standing at the tee, and a white Nike visor composed on bothered. The sun's shining, her swing is buttery smooth and nobody's elbow and ribs are trying to turn her a seal into spaghetti. Just a clean, quiet sport with the biggest hazard as a sand trap. And let's not bitter on the golf world would go feral to sign her. Women's golf could use a media darling what or star power, and Caitlin already got the Poison brand recognition to absolutely dominate, but not golf. Then Europe is definitely the next power move. Overseas leagues have been scooping up American town for years, paying more, protecting the players better, and treating their stars like the queens they are in Turkey, Spain, or France. Caitlin could be living her best ETC life, playing a packed stadiums, cashing six-figure checks, and still being adored, not scrutinized. Let's call this what it is, a loyalty test. How long will Caitlin Clark stay loyal to a league that's been giving bare minimum energy in return? And let's not ignore how insanely risky this all is for the WNBA, because if she walks, it's not just that goes into a wave of attention, revenue, and cultural momentum that leaves with her. This isn't it just replace her with the next rookie situation. Caitlin is not plug and play, she is the moment. And there's no plan B. What's even more twisted is how fast people are turning on her. You got talking heads saying she's too soft, that you need to toughen up or earn her spot. Meanwhile, the girl's out here getting more like the wrestling match and still putting up numbers when she can play. And now that she's injured, everyone suddenly quiet until Sophie speaks up, and it's like, oh right, maybe we should care about this. Honestly, shout out to Sophie Cunningham for breaking the silence. It takes guts to say what everyone's thinking, but too scared to voice, because deep down, even a league's biggest offenders know if Caitlin dips the W and be a good feel immediately in ticket sales and viewership and merchandise numbers and and credibility. How do you lose your star rookie within season and not have a full-blown PR meltdown? Oh wait, this is a meltdown. And let's be clear, this isn't just about Caitlin Clark, the person, it's about what she represents. The new era, the crossover appeal, the chance to take women's basketball from niche to mainstream. Her leaving would be more than just a personal decision, it'd be a statement, a massive neon flashing billboard. It says you had your chance and you blew it. Think the headlines: Caitlin Clark leaves WNBA for Europe is a lead doomed. They'd write themselves, and the league will be forced to look in the mirror and ask, how do we let this happen? But by then the damage would already be done, and the fans, most of them would understand. Sure, the haters would talk, they always do, but came and score. Fan bases ride or die. They watched her break records in college, they bought her jersey before even hit the shelves. If she said this league isn't for me, they follow her wherever she went. Europe, golf, streaming, even launching a lifestyle brand. And the Clark eye is real, and it does not play. Meanwhile, imagine the silence from the WNBA if she left. The awkward statements, the spin attempts, the "we support her decision" press release with zero accountability. It would be a case study in how not to treat your stars, because here's, uncomfortable truth. Caitlin Clark owes his league nothing. She gave them attention, excitement, a whole new audience, and in return they gave her elbows, Jacksons, and injury report when no each. And if she decide bounce, she'll walk away with her head high and her market value intact. She's not damaged goods, she's a franchise waiting for the right team, and if that team happens to be in Barcelona or on EOPG tour, so be it. So WNBA, if you're listening, this is your warning. The fans are watching, the players are talking, and Caitlin, she that options you better hope she decides to stick around. Because if she doesn't, you won't just lose a player, you lose the whole damn spotlight. So now let's really sit in this moment. Because if Caitlin Clark actually does walk away from the WNBA, Fishy take the leap and says, "Thanks for the memories, but I'm out. It won't just be a sports headline, it'll be a cultural earthquake. This is bigger than basketball. We're talking about someone who's become a symbol of the future of women's sports, of visibility, of GNC athletic dominance, of changing the game literally and metaphorically, and of the WNBA can't even keep our satisfied." What does that say? To the next girl coming up, the next superstar deciding whether to end the draft or take her talents somewhere else, it says maybe don't bother. And that's the real danger, not just losing Caitlin, but scaring off the ones who was to come next. Imagine being a 16-year-old high school for non right now. Watching how Caitlin being treated, you see the lack protection, the media vultures, the Jackie refereeing, the quiet front office, and amounting injuries, and you think, wait, this is a reward for being the best. No wonder Sophie Cunningham said what she said. She's not just throwing shade, she's ringing alarm bell loud, because Sophie's seen this before. The lead build up his talent, slap them on cup lads, maybe Tarzan the commercial spot, and then disappears. When things get messy, they want the aesthetic of growth without doing the work of actual investment. It's all empowerment and visibility until star player needs real support, and Caitlin, she's in the middle of that exact cycle. They use her or face to sell the lead. They boosted the hype with every post, every highlight, every sold-out arena. But now that the cameras are dimming and she's sidelined, it's like she doesn't even exist. No injury update, no accountability, just a very awkward silence and a bunch of people hoping she doesn't start asking too many questions. But guess what, she will, because Caitlin Clark isn't just talented, she's smart, she's media savvy, she knows what's being said, was that being said, and exactly how much power she holds. The only question left is how long as you wait before she uses it. If the lead doesn't course correct soon, doesn't come out and say, "We hear you were fixing this," then a better start preparing for the press tour, the exit press tour. And just imagine the headlines in WNBA. His biggest star quits league over mistreatment. Caitlin Clark walks away after rookie year gone wrong. League failed to protect its future. Euro writes itself. And let's not pretend the media won't jump all over it. They'll break it down on Sports Center, spit on every podcast, milk for every heartache taken, panel debate. The internet will go feral. TikTok edits, Twitter threads, Reddit conspiracies. Everyone will want to know why really went wrong behind the scenes. And league, good luck with that cleanup job. Because here's the real kicker, the exit, when be quiet, not with Caitlin. Whether she wants to or not, her departure would echo. It would raise every uncomfortable question the WNBA been avoiding about how they too read their rookies, about favoritism, about league infrastructure, about the double standards, about the failure to protect women they claimed uplift, and all that would come crashing down in the middle of what was supposed to be their golden era. Let's take a quick breather and hang out another fake award, most likely to accidentally start a sports revolution by dipping, goes once again to Miss Caitlin Clark. But here's the plot twist. She might not even need a lead to make a statement. All she has to do is threaten to leave or hint at it. One cryptic interview, one subtle comment, one Instagram caption that read a little too philosophical. Suddenly, every report phone is ringing in the WNBA. A PR team is in crisis mode, drafting 12 versions of the same apology/commitment to grow statement. And is not a bluff, because people know Caitlin as options. If the league doesn't bend, she can bounce. She can walk into a European contract that pays double. She can drop a podcast episode about it. She can partner with brand at one of support women's and power it in a way the WNBA clearly isn't. Its power, pure, unfiltered market shifting power, and a fact that one player has as much leverage tells you exactly how fragile the system is. Let's zoom out for a second. Caitlin Clark should be in her glow of era. they should be, or season of dominance breaking rookie. Records going viral for half-court buzzer beaters signing multi-million-dollar brand deals with Nike and Gatorade. They should be the moment where she becomes a household name. Instead, she's sitting in limbo while fans argue over whether or not you've being treated unfairly, and the fact that we're even having that conversation that a fail. Oh, you're a huge one now. Look, this doesn't mean the WNBA is doomed, but it does mean they're at a crossroads, and Caitlin Clark is standing right in the middle of it, holding the map, deciding which road to take, stay and fight, or leave and thrive. And you know what makes us all so much more intense? That Caitlin hasn't said a word, no complaints, no call-outs, just silence, which honestly is terrifying, because when a star that big goes quiet, that's when you should worry. That's when you know the gears are turning, the conversations are happening behind closed doors, the agents are doing math. Off the brand checking clauses in contract that say if league environment's hostile, player may explore alternatives. And then suddenly, boom, press conference announcement, Instagram posts with long caption, and just a black heart emoji, and it's over. The WNBA would be left trying to spin it. We wish Caitlin well. We respect a decision. This doesn't reflect our values. But by then, the fans won't be listening. They'll be following her next move, watching the highlight reels, and her first Euro game or her first round of golf with LPG. A pros, her name will still be trending. She'll still be making headlines. She'll still be Caitlin Clark. And league, they'll be left trying to turn the lights back on. So let's wrap this up with one final thought. Caitlin Clark doesn't need the WNBA to shine, but the WNBA, honey, they desperately need her. They need her to sell out arenas. They need her to train on TikTok. They needed a brain. Casual fans and diehards, and that random uncle who only watches March Madness once a year, but suddenly knows who she is. They need her because she's not just the player, she's a movement, and movements don't wait around forever. So what happens next, that's up to the league, and it's up to Caitlin. But one thing's for sure, the clock is ticking, and they don't act fast. Well, let